Hello, welcome to the studio! My name is Alex, and I'm an artist that loves both Genshin Impact and Pokemon, and thought it would be fun to combine the two of them by making Genshin Impact characters into Pokemon trainers. So to keep things pretty simple, essentially what I will be doing is I'm going to be drawing artwork of the Genshin characters with their own special Pokemon outfits that are based either on specific Pokemon characters, Pokemon trainer classes, and the like, with their ace Pokemon. And I will be talking about giving the characters their own Pokemon teams as well. So essentially, if I'm dealing with 4-star characters, they'll have 4 Pokemon, 5-star characters will have 5 Pokemon, and if I'm dealing with an Archon, they will have a legendary Pokemon along with their other 5. Kind of makes sense since the Archons are essentially gods. There's some other characters that kind of fit into it as well, but we'll kind of see how that goes as we go on through. So to start the series off, I thought it was appropriate to start essentially with the starting characters that you get in Genshin if you don't count the Traveler: Amber, Kaeya, and Lisa. Without further ado, let's get on started and start with Amber. Alrighty, so starting off with Amber, she was actually kind of easy to put together. Her kind of character as the Outrider within Genshin, she definitely fits the Pokemon Ranger archetype really, really well. And that kind of also influenced my decision on making the other Knights of Favonius characters also a part of the Pokemon Ranger group, essentially. Kaeya's artwork will be very similar as well. Her ace Pokemon that I picked out was Cinderace. Pretty on the nose. It's a fire rabbit, so you can't fit better than there. And Cinderace are just known to be very athletic, ready to go. They shoot fireballs. Amber's whole thing is shooting and setting things on fire. I find her as a really fun character. She was really fun to design for this. Her outfit is based on the Pokemon Ranger spin-off games. So I looked to that artwork to put together her outfit. It fit it pretty well. You have your overcoat, you have your little body piece, socks, I suppose. The socks in there and everything. So she's got that going for her. I made her little, her headscarf match that of Cinderace as well. You'll see on Cinderace too that he has a little scarf on his leg to represent kind of being with Amber as well. And I give her goggles back as well here in this piece. So for the rest of her Pokemon team, I decided to go with Braviary, Diggersby, and Pidgeot. The birds because she's known as the high-flying champion of Mondstadt, so she's really good at using her glider. So I figured she'd want to be kind of a flying specialist as well. But as a Pokemon Ranger, she'd also be kind of out in the wilderness, trying to get things done, maybe helping to rescue people. So that's why I thought a Diggersby would work as well. Not only is it another rabbit, but because of its ground typing, say someone's stuck under some rubble or she needs something strength-based, Diggersby can take care of that for her. So, yeah. Kind of just finishing the artwork up here. This is Amber as a Pokemon trainer with her Cinderace. I thought the pose was really, really cute. Just posing, ready to go. Getting things done. She's really super cute. I wasn't sure at first, but then once I got the rendering going, I was like, oh yeah, this is great. And what's fun with the furry Pokemon as well, since I have my little hairbrush, I was able to add a lot of like hair texture to it. So she looks pretty good, if I do say so myself. Alrighty, so finishing up Amber here, let's go ahead and move on to Kaeya. Alrighty, so Kaeya here was a little interesting, and it was really hard to pick out his ace Pokemon. The biggest thing with him is that his constellation is a peacock, and he's a cryo character. So not only do we not have peacock Pokemon, there's just no ice peacock Pokemon, so it was kind of hard to pick out his for a little bit. At first I was wanting to go just with Cryogonal to go based off of his burst within Genshin. He summons ice spikes to attack enemies with. But I was talking with my sister and she's like, yo, you should do Alolan Ninetales because not only, is it like an ice type and everything, it can also fan out its tail, which I thought worked out marvelously. So within his like official artwork, he's kind of like, it looks like he's sitting down. So I tried to do that within this artwork as well, and having the Ninetales off to the side and having its tail fan out in the back. It's like he kind of has a tail, kind of doesn't. It kind of works. So getting that going there, I just have them sitting on the ground. His Pokemon outfit is based on the Pokemon Rangers from Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. So it's a little more simplified, has the nice little vest. I gave him a little scarf as well because maybe he's dealing in the mountains more often. It was, I will say, trying to simplify the Genshin character designs for Pokemon was a little difficult, not gonna lie, just because they have so many details and it's like, ooh, what about this and what about that? And then you just lose some as you're working on it. So I try to include what I could, but I will still keeping it simple. The hair, I did keep the hair as fantastical as it does, because I mean, I love hair, I love drawing hair, so I wanted to keep that the same. But yeah, Alolan Ninetales is his ace. I like to think that since he and Diluc are adoptive brothers, I like to think in the Pokemon world, maybe their adoptive, or their dad essentially gave them two different versions of Vulpix. So Diluc got the Cantonian Vulpix, and Kaeya got the Alolan Vulpix to evolve into the respective Ninetales. So if I do get to Diluc, he will have that Ninetales on his team. It just won't be his ace, but it is Kaeya's ace. So for the other Pokemon on Kaeya's team, I picked out Cryogonal because, as I mentioned before, his burst animation. I went with Lapras because of his ice bridging. Those who play Genshin, you know. I guess you haven't had Ice Bridge for a while, because there's so many characters that are better at mobility now. But man, do I remember the days. And then I also went with Unpheasant. It was the closest thing to a peacock I could think of, with it being a big old bird and being all like, ooh, look at me, I'm just Mr. Majesty or whatever. So I thought that would work out pretty well. So, finishing up the artwork here, I think it came out really well. With how the Ninetales tail in the back came out with all the blues, it looks really cool. I do kind of hate how simple his look is, just because, I mean, I'm one of those, I like to put in the details, but I also didn't want too much details, and Pokemon doesn't have a ton of details, so he's the whole reason I wanted to play Genshin in the first place. I played the first version of Genshin for a little bit until, and then some like family stuff came up, a bunch of life stuff, and I didn't play again until version 1.4, and that was only after I saw that in his quest he like flirts with you? I'm a girl of simple taste. We're just gonna leave it at that. So yeah, anyways, finishing up Kaeya with his Alolan Ninetales. I mean, I imagine he's a Pokemon Ranger as well, probably deals in the mountains. And, I mean, he might also just hang out around base as well. So, yeah, that is Kaeya and his Alolan Ninetales. Alrighty, also apologies if you heard my cat in the back. Continuing with Lisa, I have to say, I screwed up on the recording of her speed paint portion, essentially. So all I have is the small video from Clip Studio Paint that lets me export at the end. So, trust me, I'm already mad at myself about it, but we're not going to worry about it right now. But anyways, Lisa, so she's still kind of part of the Pokemon Rangers and everything. However, with her characterization, she's kind of more like the Pokemon researcher that they keep at base. So in case they need some information about specific Pokemon, or I don't know, just something researchy in general. She's still very lazy. She's kind of just more their fancy bookkeeper, all that fun stuff there. So she's not really dressed for the outside. She's more dressed in like a nice dress. Her design, like I had to give her a hat because she is designed with a hat. Otherwise, the top of her head would just be super smooth. So I gave her like a little simple sun hat. She probably tries to protect her skin from the sun. She's got a nice kind of office-y purple dress going on. I wanted to give her like the black and gold that the other Rangers had as well. So that's kind of where that corset comes in. Then she's got, you know, the lab coat. She's a researcher, all that fun stuff. And her ace Pokemon is a shiny Roserade. So her whole motif, character motif, is purple roses, since in Genshin she studied in Sumeru under the Academy, and because Sumeru is home to purple roses, she kind of made that her whole thing. So with her going on there, I thought it made a whole lot of sense to give her a shiny Roserade, because also in Genshin, how she receives her vision, which is the gem that gives them their elemental powers, she kind of just like, oh, in order to do this research, I need a vision, so I guess I'm gonna have to get one. And then poof, it just appeared right beside her. So I kind of imagine she'd also have that same look with shiny Pokemon. So I imagine maybe she came across a random shiny Roselia at some point, and then over time she raised it into a Roserade. And just the purple and black roses is a no-brainer. I wanted to fit her as much as possible. For picking out her Pokemon team, it was actually kind of difficult because with her kind of personality, even though she is an electro character, I really don't imagine her using a whole lot of electricity. In the game, she's actually known to electrocute people who return their books late on time. So I thought maybe with that kind of personality, she'd fit better for maybe like a grass poison specialist. Rosie for the grass, and then the whole, let me electrocute you, for the poison part. So the other Pokemon I picked out a Lilligant. I thought the big flowers kind of represented her hat a little bit. And I went with a Chinchino. She's constantly calling people cutie, and I imagine she's one of those she would totally keep a Pokemon because it's cute. So Chinchino is in there. And then it was so hard picking an electric type Pokemon because I just couldn't find one that fit. I thought maybe Toxtricity, but she's not a rock band person. She's lazy. She doesn't want to have to do work. So I thought maybe a Rotom would fit better. The ghost typing also kind of fits with that whole like, ooh, let me come get you personality. And I imagine like she's probably having that Rotom like possess all the electrical things to get them moving around and working or whatever. So yeah, that's what I imagine Lisa's Pokemon party to be like. I'm really happy with how that design came out, and I think it fits her. I think it fits her pretty well. So, yeah. Alrighty, so we're wrapping up here, and so that is Amber, Kaeya, and Lisa as Pokemon trainers. I've been having this idea mull around in my head for quite a long time. I actually tried doing it a couple years ago with Mona. It didn't really get past the initial concept phase, but I'm glad to finally be doing it now. So I'm getting that going, hoping to continue this series. There's so many Genshin characters, and just waiting to become their own little Pokemon trainers. I love both series so much, so combining the two is just super, super, super fun. So if you want to let me know, like maybe how you'd put together their Pokemon teams, or maybe if there was a Pokemon that maybe fit them better, let me know. I'm also kind of experimenting currently with my videos on maybe I will record with my VTube model instead of using those little static chibis at the bottom corner of the videos as well. Let me know which one maybe you prefer if you did see my Sonic design video. The Let's Design series I'm hoping to continue. Like, we'll do some more Genshin. Maybe we'll design Sonic again. Maybe there's an entirely different series I might go and design with. Maybe we'll find some original designs too. So, if you are interested in any of that, I highly recommend subscribing so you can be alerted on when I release these fun designs. If you're interested in any other pieces of my artwork, down below in the description you can find my portfolio website. I also do commissions there as well. Then you can find my TikTok, my Instagram, Twitter, all that fun stuff. So, yeah, if there's anything else, just let me know. Otherwise, thank you so much for stopping by, and always remember to create some art, play some games, and make some memories. Have a great time. Bye!